Okay. You will now give your speeches, which last a minute and a half. When you have 10 seconds left, Francis will hold up his book to give you a warning. And when Francis says time, please stop speaking. And the order in which you're going to deliver your speeches, we'll start with Roiser, then Becky, then Megan, then Robbie, then Akila, and then Sarah. So Roiser, please come up.
Can you lower it for me? What? Oh. Sorry, they have to lower it for me. Okay. Hi, I'm Roiser, and I'm running to be your VP Welfare. I have three main areas I want to work on, and which is awareness, availability, and access. In terms of awareness, I want to maximize the exposure of the awareness campaign groups that we have, such as the Kent Marrow group, whether it be via CSR, KTV, or any other social media platform. In terms of awareness, again, for safety, increasing the road safety around Hell's Place or wherever else in Canterbury, and maintaining street lights and sexual health. So that will be asking the Gum Clinic to come in monthly. For availability, urging the university to be available to act as a guarantor for all students that need it. And increase the availability of advice and making the counselling service a lot more available via increasing the available drop-in sessions that they have. And creating a student volunteer group that will offer peer-to-peer advice, just someone to talk to, out of office hours, because worries waits for no one. And lastly, access, which is easier access to transport, so improving the bus services, not just the Medway to Canterbury shuttle bus, but also the local bus services. I'm already in talks with Stagecoach, so watch this space. Thank you.
Okay, and next up we have Becky.
Hello, everyone. Oh, thank you. Okay, hi, everyone. My name is Becky Hall. Obviously, I'm running for Vice President of Welfare. First off, let me just say, I think that Kent Uni does an amazing job with the welfare services that are available. However, my first point in my manifesto, mental health. At the moment, there's such a stigma associated to mental health, and I feel like this really prevents a lot of people and students from seeking help that is available. If I were to be elected as VP of Welfare, first of all, I would conduct a really large-scale mental health campaign so that students didn't feel ashamed to seek for help, and also there would be more awareness of the help that was available. My second point, at the moment, I'm sure that at least one of us here has gone through a phase where, I don't know, off-campus plans fell through, like maybe your housemates, your potential housemates bailed on you. And university, what they suggest is that you use the off-campus accommodation website. A lot of people don't really feel comfortable with meeting people off the internet, to live with for the next academic year. So what I propose is alternative, plans. Like, for example, we could host events where it was in a kind of a fun and friendly setting where you could meet other off-campus potential housemates, along with other things. Also, because I've only got 10 seconds left, health. We need to promote more healthy living. We need to, Okay, well, that was it. Sorry.
Okay, next up we have Megan.
We have entered a new phase in higher education in which students are paying absurd amounts of money for their right to an education. But it's not just fees that are increasing. Accommodation costs have risen dramatically. No self-catered, park-catered or postgraduate accommodation on campus is less than £100 a week. This is why I will lobby the university for cheaper accommodation costs and to encourage a price range that relates to student loans and grants. While studying, students shouldn't be worried about walking home at night. This is why I will improve street lighting on both our Medway and Canterbury campuses, especially looking at Parkwood Path and Elliott Footpath, as well as the area near Tyler Hill. Now, everybody loves the moment they get the text from Student Finance saying that your student loan's in. But we know too often than not, this doesn't last. This is why I will create Finance Week in the first term to help students learn how to budget accommodation and living costs so that you have money in your banks at the end of the term. So choose Wells for Welfare and vote Megan Wells number 1 for Vice President Welfare.
Okay, and next up is Robbie.
Hi, my name's Robbie Ashton. I'm running for VP Welfare. I've worked for a union for 2 years, both in the bars and the venue nightclub, and more recently managing a promo team. So I've seen the way the union treats its staff and its students. It does a lot for them, but people are still getting missed out and sometimes even ignored. Part of my policy is so people don't have to go searching for information. Despite working for a union for 2 years, I had no idea what the SABs were doing until I started emailing and asking questions. I want information readily available for every student, and I want every student to have an increased say in what the sabbatical officers are doing. The greater part of my campaign is focused on finance. Money is a huge issue for students, especially in light of higher tuition fees. Students just don't have money to spare. I will lobby the university for lower accommodation fees. I want a fair and competitive wage for all union staff, including job shop temps, and I want all students to have access to the same bursaries, including internationals. I want a simpler application process for the Access to Learning Fund, so students can get money without having to risk their studies. These are difficult issues and not ones that are going to be fixed overnight, but they are meaningful ones and steps have to be taken to resolve them. Vote Robbie to focus on finance.
And now we have Akila.
Hi everybody, my name is Akila P, and I'm running for VP Welfare at your student election. I'm a 5th year postgraduate student, and I've been in Kent for 5 years. And like you, there are a lot of things that I want to change about the university. Over a wide range of issues, my manifesto highlights issues as if sort of the increased banking presence on campus, increased lighting audits, increased help and induction for international students, and help over a wide range of issues, as well as introducing halal, vegan, kosher, and other options in essentials and in other sort of restaurants around campus. I like to think my manifesto is a little bit of everything for everybody. And if you have the time, please check out my full manifesto on the Kent Union website, or search Vote Akila for VP Welfare on Facebook. You can also check out my ridiculous video manifesto while you're there. Well, anyway, thanks very much for listening. Vote Akila, be a game changer. Thank you.
And our final speech will be delivered by Sarah.
Another short one. Thank you. Wow, there's a lot of you. Okay. Hey, Canterbury students. I'm Sarah Donovan, and I'm running for VP Welfare. No matter how cheesy it sounds, I'm passionate about improving student experience. There is no typical student, but I believe the role of VP Welfare is to make sure that everyone has access to what they need at university. I feel that I am the candidate to do this because I have personal experience of the system failing because I was not aware of the support networks available to me. My degree in anthropology has showed me that one solution may not suit all, but small things can make a big difference. I'm aware that some of you may be sceptical, as I do not appear to have a lot of experience within Kent Union. I'm part of Kane's College Committee. I've been a Welcome Week helper twice, including team leader this year, and I have got enough hours to qualify for Gold Plus KSCV award this year, hopefully. So, what are my priorities? Well, please read my full manifesto, but the most important thing is awareness of what is available on campus for you, a member of Kent Union. I want to work with all the SABs, but particularly VP Education, to better prepare personal tutors for their pastoral care role, as well as making sure on day one on campus they have all the information they need and know about the Advice Centre, DDSS, and counselling and others, as it can be daunting to ask a stranger about these things. University can be the best time of our lives, but there can be times you need a bit of help. Thank you for listening, and please vote me number 1 VP Welfare.
Okay. We'll now move on to questions. Each candidate will answer each question, and you have a maximum of a minute per answer. When you've got 10 seconds left, Francis will give you a warning with his book. Okay. And the first question is, how would you specifically improve relations between students and local residents? And we will start with Robbie.
Well, I would start by encouraging the students and the residents, either ones that have issues, to meet with each other so that these can be discussed and resolved. I would also push the union's 48-hour feedback policy, which is just kind of getting off the ground now, so that even if you're a resident that has a complaint about the student, you can get an answer within 48 hours to know that something is being done. The same will go for students as well.
Okay, and Akila?
Yeah, that's a very interesting point, actually. Just like he said, I'll actually push for better relations between people and students as well, members of the community, as well as the fact that maybe someone once said to me, it's probably best that you ask sort of certain bars on campus to stay open a little bit longer, so that minimizes the chance of students going back to their rooms and throwing massive after parties, or going off campus and throwing huge after parties that rage on into the dead of night. That upset the neighbors.
Okay, and Sarah?
I guess that there was the Meet Your Neighbours scheme earlier this year, and that didn't work very well. But I really want to push for furthering. I'm very lucky because I've known my neighbour for 3 years now, and the best thing is just going over, bringing kind of the smallest thing, maybe some flowers, chocolates, and going, hey, I'm a student and I'm not that noisy. So. Yeah, small things make a big difference.
Okay, and Royza?
Right. It's to improve the locals and the students' relationship, yeah? Well, a lot of people would say that, parties are a bad idea, but at the beginning of the year, a quick little barbecue saying, hi, I'm a student, please come invite, all the neighbours around would be a good idea. And in terms of, having complaints, then the locals are the locals are invited to the university and give a complaint via the SAC or via social media. So I think that would be a great platform for that.
Okay, and Becky?
I think it's important to be respectful of your neighbours, whether you're a student or not. So I think that maybe we could do more to raise awareness, to make sure that students are aware that, your neighbours, maybe they don't appreciate the parties that are really loud at like 6 a.m. But at the same time, we still want people to have fun. So as long as you're respectful, we can just, if we were to be elected as the VP of Welfare, we could do more to sort of raise awareness, but at the same time be fair and make sure that the students have a really good time at university as well.
Okay, and Megan?
Well, this is actually one of my points on the community section, wanting to work, getting students to go meet their neighbours at the start of term. It doesn't take long to go knock on your neighbour's door, say, hi, I've moved in. Generally, if they're going to be nice. We're nice people. And I also think one thing that we need to remember is that we are part of the local community too. So it's not just us and them. Why not be part of it? Why not go to the local housing meetings and stuff like that? Get involved with your local community, because in the end of the day, we are part of this community too. It's on my manifesto, so check it out.
Okay, and we'll now move on to our second question, which is, how will you ensure that the welfare of minority and liberation groups is not overlooked? And we will start with Sarah.
Sorry, just writing it down. I think the important thing is that whatever group you're part of, you are a student of Kent Union and you have a right to whatever support networks that we have. Our part-time officers, some of them are absolutely amazing, and I really, really want to support them, and that's on my manifesto. Making sure that we have forums, open forums, where you can get in contact with me. Quite happy to be emailed about it, and kind of make sure that there's this dialogue between students in those groups and Kent Union itself. Thank you.
Okay, and Megan?
Well, as a Liberation officer currently and a Liberation officer last year, I think Liberation is vital, and I think that it is the heart of Kent Union. I think we really need to get that out there. Personally, I think Liberation shouldn't just be a welfare issue. I think that it should be an issue that a priority for everybody. So in my work that I've done this year, I've increased the representation of women. We've had some excellent events on kind of talk about women's issues and stuff, and same with the LGBT campaign last year. We've done some really good work on explaining to students what liberation groups are and what they do.
Okay, and Becky?
Okay, I think that the key solution is promotion, promotion, promotion. If we make people more aware of the kind of support networks are available, whether it be societies or seeking advice through the welfare services that are available at Kent, I think that it will help to improve many of the situations that are currently going on at Kent Uni.
Okay, and Royza?
That's actually one of my main manifesto points when I said about awareness and having maximum exposure to awareness campaign groups, and that doesn't just stop at mental health awareness. That includes the minorities and the whole apartheid week. I think that was brilliant. So having more publicity in terms of those sort of events would be great, and to ensure that they're not overlooked is that maybe have more international film nights around in the Gulbenkian would be good awareness.
Okay, and Akila?
Yeah, I think it's one of my main manifesto points about helping to increase representation for all minority groups, whether they be local or international. Especially on the international front, I would definitely help international students with a whole range of issues, ranging from jobs, working out stuff with NI numbers, visas, and all of that stuff. And obviously, if it's local stuff, I would definitely urge, no matter who you are, whether you're a local student or you're a foreign student, I would definitely urge you, if I was elected VP Welfare, to come and talk to me, give me your concerns. We'll talk about it, and we'll address the issue specifically, and try and sort of come up with an effective solution that addresses benefits everybody as a collective. Thank you.
Okay, and finally, Robbie.
This ties into one of my key manifesto points about students having more power and influence over sabbatical policies. I want to make it so if there is a problem, they can step up. And like I was saying with a 48-hour response, it will immediately be made known to the SAB. And within 48 hours, something will be put in place. So I think, or something will get started. Even if it's not fixed overnight, they'll get a response. They'll know that people are there for them. I think the key thing is feedback and showing that the SABs are really there for the students. So long as they can be made aware that, that's what the SABs are there for, then I don't see any problems with it.
Okay, and on to our third and final question. Due to the fact that you have a limited time in office and only so many hours in the day, what's more important, seeing students on an individual basis and helping them with their problems, or working on your overarching projects and campaigns? And we will start with Becky.
I think that it's really important to get the balance right here, because obviously you should put the students first, but also campaigns are really important. So I feel like if you're working on a campaign, you should also make other ways of contact available, like, for example, setting up a Facebook group or making your Facebook known, or Twitter, so that they can contact you on your out of hours. Just have a conversation with you, and you can deal with that, and at the same time you can also work on the projects that you're dealing with.
Okay, and Royza?
I would choose students individually, because I think every student matters. If you're a SAB as well, you will have to work over your overarching campaigns anyway, but I'd put the priorities to the seeing students individually. But be it seeing them personally, or them giving my contact number if they need any welfare advice, and directing them to the correct sort of routes for that. So I definitely would choose seeing students individually.
Okay, and Megan?
I think it's quite a tough question, but I think I would go for the overarching campaigns. I think that you need to focus on kind of what's going to affect students more and everything. And that's not to say that I'm not going to sit down and talk to students and everything, but the job of Vice President Welfare isn't there to sit there and be a counsellor. You know, I can signpost you to the correct places of who you want to talk to and everything like that, but I think the overarching campaigns and making sure that everybody's safety and financial and housing issues are kind of covered, I would pick that one over it, but obviously I'd do both.
Okay, and Robbie?
Can you repeat the question, Tim?
Yes, it is due to the fact that you have limited time in office and only so many hours in the day, what's more important, seeing students on an individual basis and helping them with their problems, or working on your overarching projects and campaigns?
I think it is a very difficult question, and there is no particular correct answer for this, but I'm inclined to agree with the overarching projects. I think it's very important to get the student feedback on the matter, but I think that we are being elected on the promises that we make here, and so it's important that we're seen to be pushing those through. At the same time, you can't be seen to ignore the students at all. That's what I'm saying with the 48-hour feedback policy. You have to hear what they're saying, but you have to keep the promises that we're making here.
Okay, and Sarah?
The first thing that I asked Colin when I was thinking of going for the role was, what do you spend most of the time on? And he said emails. And it's a really difficult question because seeing students is really important, and our campaigns should be shaped by what students want, and every student does matter. But I feel that overarching campaigns are vitally important, and they're actually directing them to where they should go or where they can go is probably a better way to do things, and so that you can deal with the overarching issues which then trickle down into the things that they care about.
Okay, and the final answer for this evening for our welfare candidates will come from Akila.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting question. I think that you should pay a lot of attention to individual student problems because I think that in some ways it might represent a problem that might face a larger demographic than just one student or a large percentage. But at the same time, I also think that the overarching sort of concerns of the student body will also need to be addressed. And I think the basis of my entire campaign will be to sort of merge all of those sort of ideas together, and to be able to sort of assess the individual requirements of students and then sort of merge it into something that could benefit the entire student body as a collective, because I feel that's where the actual strength of it lies.
Okay, thank you very much, and a big round of applause for our welfare candidates.